Now, a lot of people will not like what I'm going to say, but I do think President Trump is right about bringing manufacturing back to the United States. However, the reasons I suspect will not benefit his base of supporters. Now, I've worked at multiple large corporations with huge manufacturing, both here in the United States and outside of the United States. And what has been common is that there has been this push, I would say over the last decade, to shift to more digitalization of factories. Now, I've mentioned in some older videos, even on this channel. Now, let's talk about the benefits that large manufacturing corporations will have with these adjustments. So, what you're seeing in that video, now I don't know where that video really came from. Y'all saw the caption. However, what's shown in that video is just not representative of a factory today or factories in the future. So I could see why China would want to push for Americans to not support these initiatives, because manufacturing will incorporate more and more robotics and machinery. And, what you're even seeing with that video, they showed clothing industries. Well, there's robotic sewing, there's automated cutting, there's different AI tools that have driven efficiencies to allow for less labor costs for a lot of these businesses. And so what you saw in that video, sure, might have been true in the 90s. However, today, it's simply not what a true factory would look like. So even with manufacturing being brought back here to the United States, we're likely not going to have people working in that same sense that you saw in the video. Now, tying in with my first point, this is likely the best time for manufacturing to come back to the United States for large businesses, not for the average person. From my view, I think it's the worst time for ordinary people. From my view, this is something that would have benefited folks back in the 90s and early 2000s when this big shift happened. So ultimately, the businesses still win. Meanwhile, there are plenty of folks that think factories in China really do have people working as they showed in the visual, and that's simply not true for the largest factories that are ran by these multi-billion-dollar companies. Most already have or will soon implement factories where less and less people will work directly, and they'll more so work with the machines. And the machines will work on, the heavy lifting, working with raw materials. They'll have the smart sensors, and many already do. And the other thing that I don't see a lot of people talking about is that everything will be interconnected. They'll have these systems and they will provide real-time data, and it will allow, the management to make better and better decisions and make even better process optimization. So this is really a powerhouse of a factory that we will be seeing. Now, lastly, I do see benefits in having manufacturing based here in the United States, as I don't think we should be as dependent on other countries, especially if there is some trending to us being in a war. I do not want that happening, but from my view, I could see the advantages of that, and I'm sure these things are pre-planned well ahead. So that's the viewpoint that I have. Honestly, there's less disadvantage given that the United States is more digitalized. So when it comes to a lot of these factories, and can also push products both in the United States and outside the United States. Let's not deny ourselves that there are certain products that are very well coveted that come from the United States and also from Europe, more so some of the luxury brands, right? So these are just my thoughts. I'm sure many will disagree, and I'm okay with that. I would love to hear some different perspectives on this. There will be others that maybe choose not to hear this just because I'm saying, like, hey, President Trump might be right from this view. But again, the point of this video is that I do not think this helps your average person. I do think this helps businesses overall. So let me know what y'all think about this topic. I would love to see your comments, and I will talk to y'all later.